Hello, everybody. My name's Isaiah, and today we're going to look at the battle between Detective Haines, or Haines, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, and the infamous Jay Reffner. So, we all know who Jay Reffner is, that kind of tubby guy who rocks up. His name's Meat Rocket, something or other, and he's got a very interesting circumstance because his mum, I believe, is a lawyer of some sort, um, and his dad is a police officer. So Jay really has no excuse to have such an unacceptable moral compass. He has grown up in a family where justice is probably spoken about at the dinner table every single night, yet he still goes out and does such an atrocity like this. So we're going to get into it, but before I start, Jay really hits me hard because I have a friend that looks exactly like him. Um, if you can imagine Jay maybe 20 years younger and not overweight, that's what my mate looks like. So it's weird seeing this guy. There's also a guy at my gym, and I've been trying to get a photo of him, but I've decided not to do it just because I don't want to breach his privacy. And if I was him, I wouldn't want anyone taking a photo of me and comparing it to a predator, but he looks exactly like Lorne Armstrong. From behind at the gym, we're talking like a 95% similarity. From the front, we're talking maybe an 80% similarity, 85 maybe. Very, very similar looking. And, I might actually go up and ask him for consent and take a photo of him, but he's not going to let that happen. Uh, yeah, I don't think I will. I just wanted to clarify that because I had told people that there was a guy that looked like Lorne at my gym. Anyway, let's get it started. Enough Lorne.
Well, she told me it's Sarah, but
said her name was Sarah.
So Haines reminds me of that typical bully from high school back in like the 60s and 70s. And he's finished high school. He's used to beating up kids. If someone gives him the shits, some nerd or some asshole, he just gives him a knuckle sandwich. But now Haynes has had to become one with society and conform. He can't go around bashing people anymore. This is just the kind of feeling I get when I look at Haynes. And he's dealing with this twerp of a person called Jay Reffner. And you can just see in Haynes, deep inside his limbic system and amygdala chambers in his mind, there's this resonating, I don't know, childhood. I don't know what it is, but I can just feel that he really wants to beat the shit out of Jay Reffner. But on the outside, he's so calm and collective, and he does his job quite well because you're dealing with pretty fucking sick people here. And Jay Reffner's such a smartass, and you can just see this Haynes guy really beat down on people like Jay Reffner in high school. You can tell he looks like a typical jock, like bully, typical from a movie, like a 1980s, um, just a typical 1980s teen flick set in a high school. Like I don't know, like Biff Tannen from my fucking Back to the Future, something like that.
What was her screen name?
right there.
Is that right? Bush sucks girl.
Bush Sucks Girl. Where do they get these names from? Perverted Justice. Because I remember, I think it was the decoy for either Lee Greer or Donald Morrison is Snakes on a Girl, and I just think of like a girl getting gangbanged by like 10 dicks, and now here Bush Sucks Girl. What the fuck does that mean?
That's right.
George Bush sucks on girls' clits or something?
You looking for something in particular? Oh.
He's such a fucking nerd. Look, I'll give it to Jay. He's trying to help him out here. I think he's maybe looking through the. Oh no, that's right. So, Haines has a partner with him here, and he's looking through Jay's wallet. And Jay's like, "Are you looking for something in particular?" And the guy's like, "No, just looking, just trying to look for condoms or something, probably."
Yeah, not too much in there.
How did you first meet her online?
Yahoo.
Hmm?
Yahoo.
Yahoo?
His face. He does not give a fuck. He does not want to be there. He's so dead on the outside. He's got those big bags under his eyes. I just honestly feel like he wants to punch Jay right in the face. And as it progresses, this interview, he starts to break a bit. Haines. He really gets fed up with the bullshit, and Jay really believes that he is an intellectual. Jay thinks he's smarter than anyone in the room at any given time, but he's not. He's not. You can't have a grasp of law and what's what is legal and what is not legal, just from common sense, because the law is a complicated thing. And Jay probably knows a bit about the law from his mum, but obviously not enough if he thinks what he did that night in the house was legal.
Yeah.
Like in a chat line?
It's like chat line. Chat line's like when you call up some fucking hooker on TV or something.
You work for the University of Finland?
Sir.
When did you meet her?
Just that crappy wallet. University of Finley. So, he's not working with minors, but to be honest, a university would probably not want a person who is a sex offender, working in a library, because universities get kids straight out of high school sometimes, 18-year-olds, sometimes even younger, 17-year-olds. I can't imagine a sex offender holding on to a job at a university, especially one with IT. He's going to have access to but college students' accounts, personal information. And this guy is a known predator, so you'd think he'd lose his job. And he was doing this on a Yahoo computer, I believe. So I think so, because I do believe he goes on to say soon that, oh no, sorry, he was at home, but the computer did have university sensitive material on it. So I think he does get worried a bit later about how the police are going to get around the privacy concerns that students will have, because the police are going to be going through Jay's computer, looking through this chat log, and there's, I don't know, 12,000 people's university account passwords and stuff on the computer. So
I've never met her.
When did you meet her in the chat room?
Oh, I don't
When was
know.
the first time you started talking to her?
Really?
he reminds me of James Dean from behind. He looks a bit like James Dean. Was that what he was going for, Jay Reffner? Was he going to Sarah in that red jacket, trying to look a bit like James Dean? Look, he's got the collar popped, trying to look cool. He just looks like James Dean here without doing his hair. Sorry for all the James Dean fans for having associated Jay Reffner with him, but look at him.
Yeah.
Earlier today? Had you talked to her previously today?
Before today?
Yes. Never seen her before in the chat rooms, never spoke to her before?
No, I usually don't go to the chat rooms very often at all.
Can I have your phone number? Home phone?
My home phone? Why is that?
He's getting nervous. So he's getting nervous because, like every predator with a family, you don't want your wife to be home one day and get a call and say, yeah, we're the Department of Justice calling up in regards to the sex scandal case surrounding your husband, Jay Reffner. Jay wants to sweep everything under the rug tonight. He doesn't want his family to know. I think they're out camping. I watched this ages ago, So I'm not 100% sure, but he, again, is a predator who wants to keep this quiet, sweep it under the rug. His parents, Jay Reffner's parents, are in the justice system. Imagine how embarrassed you would be and how disappointed his parents would be with what he's done. I could not face that. I could not believe that. The only thing I could relate to is I had a friend who was Asian and he had a tiger mum. His mum was on his back, and it's that stereotypical Asian parents just whipping the children into study every single night, hours on end. He only got to play PlayStation with me like Sunday nights. And he cheated in a test or something, and so he got a fail for the test. And he had to tell his mum, but I imagine it'd be something like that. Not obviously Jay Reffner's circumstance is bad, but in comparison to something I can comprehend, it'd be something like that. Just an unimaginable disappointment from your parent.
We can call you about your vehicle.
You know what?
So we can call you about your vehicle.
I won't be there.
Well, you will be eventually. We need a home phone.
You're not gonna be there because you're in jail, you fucking idiot. And he's just looking at him like, just answer the question, you fuckwit. Just give me the answer.
19-420-9709.
Okay.
There you go, Ember. Maybe you could prank call Jay Reffner.
You're welcome.
Do you know how old the person was that you were supposed to be coming to visit today?
Didn't we already go over that?
All right. I got to ask these questions like 3 or 4 times because they got questions on here. I got to ask questions from there.
No.
Okay, so I'm asking you again.
Well, no.
How old was the female that you were supposed to come and meet?
She never told me while we were online.
Okay. At any time.
I believe he's telling the truth there. So the whole age thing came from her profile ID. So, you know, when you add someone who's a friend, it's got a bit of information in the ID, you know, name, gender, and age. And I think her age was whatever. It was underage though, so the age was there.
Did you know how old the female was?
Post-entry? No. Pre-entry? No.
I'm just thinking, like, did you know how old you were after you fucking penetrated her? That's what it sounds like. Post-entry after he inserted his cock into it. Pre-entry, no, I didn't know how old she was. Post-entry after I fucked her, yeah, I did. Fucking hell, man. I don't know what is going on. Does he know how old she is now? Just answer the question. Stop playing these games with Haines or he'll stand up and beat the shit out of you. Look how big he is, man. Look at that trap. Look at that shoulder. It's massive.
Okay. At any time, did you know how old the female was that was inside?
At any time.
No, not until I entered the house.
At any time, you idiot.
She had indicated that she was drinking some
I
stuff.
am speaking English, right? At any time. Any time. Do you know how old she is now?
Well,
So
she said behind the wall that she was 16.
Behind the wall. Behind the wall. There's just this. I could just imagine it. There's just that wall there. He's sitting there. He's like, "Come out from behind the wall. Come out." Like, oh man, it reminds me in Castlevania, the game. I don't know why I get this, but in To Catch a Predator, you know how he goes on just then about that wall and there's someone behind the wall. In Castlevania, I was playing it the other day, and there's a part where you whip the wall and you can get like a roast chicken. That's how you get health. They're like hidden behind the walls. And I don't know, now whenever I play Castlevania, I think of Jay Reffner talking about the girl behind the wall. I don't know, but fucking that's an example of how To Catch a Predator just weasels its way into your mind, and anything and everything you do relates back to Catch a Predator.
15.
Okay.
Did you ever view her profile? Did you ever take a look at her profile?
On the Yahoo profile?
Yeah, on her Yahoo profile.
Mhm.
Did it indicate on there what her age was? Did you look at
Yes,
that?
but that's kind of worthless. It really doesn't mean anything.
What did it say on there?
Not necessarily. Obviously, you got to take into consideration they can be lying, but if someone's profile ID says an age, you got to take that age over anything else. It doesn't mean definitively that's the age, but it holds the greatest weight, if you know what I mean.
Her age?
Yeah.
It says she was 15.
It says she was 15 on the profile.
It says she was 15.
When did you notice that?
Well, a little bit before. I don't know. Half hour before I came or left or whatever.
Oh, so it was today? I mean, you didn't notice it when
Today
you
was
first
the
started?
first time I spoke with her.
So you knew that she was possibly 15 before you left?
Yeah, he's basically admitted there that before he went to the house, he knew she was 15. Which would beg the question, why didn't he, before he left, say, oh, hang on, I'm just about to leave. I've just noticed on your profile ID you're 15. Can I ask you a question, Sarah? Are you 15? And then, oh, no, whatever bullshit. If she says 15, you can't go. That's what she said. You can't just say, oh, I don't believe you, and go. That would be like if you were dating someone who was 30 and you go to meet up and you're like, oh, no, I can't go because you could be 15. I can't trust the age you're telling me. If she said she was 30, you'd go. You wouldn't think, oh, she could be underage. So if someone says they're underage, you assume immediately that they are.
Today, is that right?
That really holds no credibility or weight when you.
That's my most hated part, is when he goes on about that no credibility or weight bullshit. It does hold credibility and weight.
For those profiles, anybody, you can put any false information. People say they're 130 on there. Mm-hmm. It really is irrelevant.
But why would you come to somebody's house that is telling you that they're 15 years old?
She didn't tell me that.
The profile told you that she was 15 years old.
She didn't say that online. I'm just saying the profile said that.
Okay, the profile
what's this guy filming?
Yahoo chat
says
she was 15.
And as far as the integrity goes of that, it's meaningless. Because people say that they can be 130 or whatever. So it really doesn't mean anything.
So if this girl said she was 6, you would have come out here too?
Come on.
Yeah, exactly. That was great by Haines. So, if the profile ID said the girl was 6, Jay's kind of in his hesitation there saying he wouldn't go. He's implying he wouldn't go. And if he doesn't go if she's 6, that means it does hold some credibility and weight. When anyone says anything on a chat, they could be lying. Anything anyone says online with Jay's understanding and interpretation would mean that anything they say has no credibility or weight. And he's just admitted straight up there, 6 years old, she holds credibility and weight. It does. Why the fuck do I keep saying credibility and weight? I fucking hate that.
Kind of hard to have a conversation with a 6-year-old.
No, it's not. I mean, how old would have
an intellectual conversation?
How old would have the chat ID had have said she was before you would have come today with condoms?
The profile?
That's a very, very smart question. And Jay has to answer that quickly, but very carefully. So Haines has said what age would be the lowest that you'd go. So if Jay replies saying, 18 would be the lowest age that I would go, then Haines straight up says, okay, so you're considering the profile ID is correct by saying 18, meaning it does hold credibility and weight. So why did you go when it said 15? And the alternative really isn't there because Jay can't say anything else. He can only really say 18 or just sit there twiddling his thumbs and just continue to say, no, the ID has no weight, no bearing. But he's already said 6 is too young, so obviously there is an age where he wouldn't go, if you know what I mean.
The profile that has no bearing or weight because it really is.
There we go. There's James Dean's aborted brother.
Ain't anything.
But you
Because you can put
established
whatever
that
you
she
want.
was 15 years old, right? You
And
assumed that
that's
she
what
was.
when I left,
Did you have to assume that she was 15 years old if you didn't ask her any questions?
I didn't have any idea how old she was when I left.
So you can't meet. How are you going to meet up with someone and not know how old they are? It's like the first thing you ask ASL. To be honest, I don't know why he didn't ask ASL. Maybe because there's a profile ID. If a profile ID is present, it doesn't really mean you need to ask ASL. He knew her age, he knew her sex, he knew her location probably, which was down the street or whatever. So he's fucking lying, the no earlobed, balding motherfucker.
You had an idea. You had an idea that she might be 15 years old.
Possibly. She could have been 80 for all I know.
Jay, I guarantee you would not fuck an 80-year-old.
That one said 15.
Or what?
Her chat ID said 15, correct?
What's a chat ID? No, her chat ID is Bush, whatever.
You know what he means. Her chat ID in the age section said at 15.
Her profile,
Her profile?
her chat ID, however you want to speak, said
Her profile
that
says.
she's 15, correct?
Yes, it does say that.
Okay.
Well, you could go look for yourself. But, again, it doesn't mean anything.
That is just the look of a completely broken person. Right now, rushing through his mind, what's he going to tell his mom? What's going to tell his dad? What's he going to tell his wife? What's his son or daughter? He's got children. What are they going to think? What's his children's school going to think? What their school teacher's going to think? What's his neighbor's going to think? What's his wife's friends going to think? What's his friends going to think? You know, what's going to happen with his job? Is he going to be able to get a job in the future? Is he going to get... All these thoughts are running through your mind. The cognitive ability of the mind to have this kind of heightened neuroplasticity in circumstances like this allows your brain to race like that so fast. And he's just probably thinking now a million things. I know I would be, which would never happen, but if I was in this circumstance, he kind of reminds me of one of those old Italian Vatican marble statues here. You know how they kind of look down and like have that, I don't know, godly, calm. That's just what it looks like. He's got no lobes either.
So you're making sexual advances to this female whose profile says she's 15. What were you thinking?
I never made any sexual advances to her. And you mean online?
Have you ever received oral?
Hey, he did a bit of a John Pierre Wary there. He licked his lips. That's a blatant sexual advancement. You're bringing up, sexual activities and certain sexual ideas, trying to arouse the person on the other end. You're definitely engaging in sexual chat. And he's just got to sit there and take it, the bastard.
Online?
Well, he's trying to say here, what online, did I make sexual advances online? Of course he means online. If you made any in the house, it was blatantly filmed. You know you didn't make any in the house. He's talking about the chat here. If you made them in the house, you'd be fucked. Plain and simple, but you didn't really get the chance to do it in the house.
That was just play, sir.
If you would like.
Oh, that was just play. So look at that look of defeat. So this arrogant little prick, this whole time, trying to act smug, trying to act like he's superior to Haines, a simple detective. He's at the low end. Look at my family, a high admired police officer and a very high lawyer. And you're just a measly, low-down detective. And look at this.
Online?
Look at this here.
Yeah, that was just play, sir.
That was just play. Can't even give him eye contact. Cannot even maintain eye contact with Haines. And Haines would be loving that because, like I said, that bully mentality that Haines brings to the table, he can't physically beat up Jay, but he can mentally break him down. And he is. He's breaking down Jay here.
If you would like, I'd love to take your hand and show you. I'm sorry, take your hand and show you.
Show her what? Show her what?
I mean, we don't have to read through all this, right? You already know that you made sexual advances towards
Yes.
No.
a female online.
No. Yes, you did. Oh my God. Stop denying it, mate.
I was 15, is that correct?
We talked.
And then you just drove 2.5 hours to see her, is that correct? I just want to make sure I got this all right before I go on further so I don't have to ask these questions again.
You stated here, would you like me to send you? And that you said that also that you would keep it wrapped.
And that's it. End game. You can't argue that that is not sexual advancement. He's talking about wearing a condom, fucking the girl. And look at your face. He's gone. He's absolutely blank. We're gonna end it here. I'll release next episode tomorrow. Till next time, guys. See ya.